Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the criminal justice system in the United States, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the criminal justice system in the United States, Dr. DBurris-Kitchens from Tennessee State University in the Department of Criminal Justice at that institution. And of course, Dr. Burris-Kitchens, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And to tell you how delighted we are to have you here. As a matter of fact, to talk about a topic that we consider to be very, very important in terms of our understanding, in a real sense, of exactly how people are judged and eventually incarcerated, and some of the impacts that this has upon society and upon different groups and et cetera. But before we get into a discussion of the criminal justice system in the United States, Dr. Burris-Kitchens, let's see if we can have you to talk about yourself, to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of eventually bringing you to us this morning, and after which we'll have an opportunity to talk about this criminal justice system in the United States.
Sure. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I did my undergraduate degree in sociology at the Indiana University in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And while I was there, I ran across a couple of professors that got me very passionate about the issue of criminal justice in America, and specifically some of the disparities that exist within the criminal justice system across racial and social class lines. So I continued to study. I went up to Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, to get my master's degree in sociology, and eventually finished up at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo with my doctorate in sociology. I went from there to the University of Laverne in California, Southern California, and there I got specifically interested in racial disparities in sentencing because I got to tour with Jesse Jackson when he went on his presidential campaign back in the middle 90s, and that's what he specifically wanted me to address, were racial disparities in sentencing. So my research interests have been focused on that pretty much since. And then I came to Tennessee State University in 2001 as a faculty member, and eventually was put in the position of department head in 2006, where I've been ever since, and have still been doing my research on racial disparities in sentencing. So I've been researching this topic for probably 10 or 12 years now.
And I'm sure you'll have a lot of additional information to give to us in reference to this.
Right.
Let's look at the criminal justice system. When I say the criminal justice system in the United States, exactly what am I saying, and from your perspective? What are we talking about?
We're talking about three aspects of the criminal justice system, being policing, the courts, and corrections. The policing basically focuses on looking for people who are committing violations against our legal code, and the courts are who prosecute those who are accused, and then the corrections are the people who are responsible for taking care of those who are sentenced in the criminal justice system. Where the disparities lie, I think, is from the courts into the sentencing aspect, and then into incarceration. We've also got probation and parole. Parole is where they come out of the system. Probation is where they basically are at the front end. They're given probation as opposed to being sentenced to the prison system when they're convicted of a particular offense. Our legal system came basically from the English common laws. So we're still a system that looks a lot like what was brought over by the English when they came to the United States.
And so the whole aspect of the criminal justice system in the United States is really an extension almost of the English system.
Right. And when we get to that part of the discussion, that's going to play a big role in why the system looks like it does, as far as it being somewhat discriminatory against different racial groups in our society.
And that will be one aspect of it. Very good. You know, I think that you mentioned policing as